my most favorite Danish fashion royalty. I'm super happy we're sitting down together right next to your office. Thank you so much for having me today. And giving me and everyone else a first insight onto what's going to be happening onto the show floor at the upcoming issue of the CIFF in 2026 January. So over the years, we have seen the CIFF evolve into so much more than a trade show. It turned into an entire platform, which is a pillar entirely for the not just Copenhagen, but the Scandinavian fashion manifesto and the industry itself. What can we expect to see in the issue upcoming now in January?
A lot. So, of course, there will be some consistency. And each time we try to come with a surprising theme and elements. Last time, we had the whole poppy flower walk in the park theme because it's definitely no walk in the park. So there was also a hidden message in here. For the upcoming theme and edition, we are actually finding the inspirations into a modern take of the 90s supermarket.
Wow, I love this.
Yeah, and again, I think for us it's also that we see when we have all of the discussions with our brands and the community and retailer landscape that you need to really be, have the commercial mindsets even more than in the past due to the market situation. There's a lot of focus on the price points. So we thought it was good to incorporate that. So we have the supermarket theme, so it will be CIFF Super with a splash of orange. And then we'll go much more into the digital landscape, also because we launched the CIFF Media platform. And we want to bring also much more knowledge out to our community, not just through the 3 days, but all through the year. But it's a perfect situation for us also to show it during the 3 days, of course.
Wow. So the festival period of 3 days is definitely going to extend so much with the whole new digital layer you're adding onto this.
Yes.
Do you see a particular frequency in submitting content onto this platform, or how do you believe it's going to be the best way to communicate and keep with everyone connected and excited about the upcoming show?
Yeah, I think for us, because of course we have twice a year we are present at Copenhagen, but we also do PT in Florence twice a year. We do a global, press tour. For instance, next week I will be in Antwerpen. So we are out connecting with our community all year round. To also do much more of the immersive experience, and that we want to bring out to our community. So not only those people that show up for those events. And then for us, it's also about helping our brand community telling their stories. And we want to tell their stories in periods of time where the buyers have a bit more time and they are not, in their suitcase turning around buying. So we have different, tracks where we want to get the information out, but also in a digestible manner, so it's not a 1.5 hour CIFF Media episode each time. There can also be like a 12-minute dialogue. So we want to, target the different segments in a digestible, but also in a very visible manner.
Snackable content is definitely a super key for all the formats which you guys here do. But you just mentioned that you and your team are doing quite a lot of ambassador work when it comes to traveling to different countries and showing the cultural appeal of the CIFF also onto other markets.
Yeah.
How do you feel that satellites which you established, be it in New York, be it in Paris, be it in Florence, pay back onto bringing more and more and more international crowds, be it brands and also buyers, onto the CIFF floor?
We can see it in the data that we are getting much more international traction. We've had, of course, a huge focus on Germany and the Netherlands. And we see, throughout the last few years that we've grown. For instance, for Germany, we've grown from having around 2 to 3% of the German markets up till now, where we are between 13 and 16% of our traffic numbers coming from Germany.
Incredible growth.
So, we can see it pays off, and we are in an industry where, we also need to be present, and you need to have the physical, face-to-face touch point, and we need to, pamper those relations and inform them about all of the initiatives and brand highlights that we have here. And also, as you say, with the festival, for us, it's important that when you come to Copenhagen, you come to CIFF. It's not just racks and racks and racks. It is the fashion Coachella. There is a lot of inspiration. And what you will see this time is that we are also trying to involve our retailer community much more into CIFF, to also give some retail inspiration to all of the buyers that come here. And that's why I'm super excited that one of our special projects for the upcoming CIFF is with 10 Corso Como. And I mean, this is one of the biggest, most exciting projects we've done with a retailer so far. And the idea is to take this iconic concepts multi-brand store and bring into the CIFF universe, but with a Nordic take.
Wow.
So they will curate Nordic designers to fit in to the 10 Corso Como universe that we build up here. And then because they are so amazing, talented, to also involve different artists into the concept store, we will then involve Danish artists into also doing some sculptures and a more artistic take on it. And then, of course, they will also bring their iconic merch that you can actually purchase during a CIFF.
I love that you always intertwine this very fine line between fashion and subculture and like street culture, as obviously Corso Como is now going to be bringing onto the CIFF floor in January.
Yeah.
How big is the space going to be? Tell us something more. What can we expect? Is it going to be like a transactional space where people can actually walk in, be it buyers or visitors, and they can actually get some of the merch and some of the products which they discover? Or is it going to be purely a exhibition space?
No, it will be open, and I think for us it is important that you can interact with it, and that's why you can purchase the merch at the store. We'll have a cute little 10 Corso Como coffee pop-up. You can get, when you buy the merch, you can get it gift wrapped in the 10 Corso Como gift wrapping paper. And we'll also host some small events during the space. It will be just close to the entrance, so it will be the first thing you actually see when you are entering. It's an area where it's approximately 600 square meters to also give it some air. So it will be a beautiful, huge space.
Wow, that sounds very exciting, definitely, for each and everyone who's going to be visiting the CIFF. But when it comes to you always announcing one further issue, there's a lot of excitement around the lineup. What can we expect in terms of brands coming new onto the floor or returning to CIFF? When it comes to brands delivering a lot to the excitement and the rumor in the industry, who are you having along this time?
Yeah. So if we start at the entrance at the B Hall where we have our men's segment, we are super excited to welcome back Complex Minds, which were this more conceptual looking area the last time. And they will also bring a DJ, will have a small eventing. They are super good at bringing a very cool vibe. And then, of course, as the last time, we also have some few highlights at the entrance. So, for instance, Fine Chaos, that is also part of our community here at CIFF Village, Renee Copenhagen. And then, of course, Woodbird, who did our CIFF shirts the last time, will have an expanded area this time.
Wow, they definitely deserve one.
They deserve one. They deliver each time. So we're super excited to see what they will bring the next. And then we have both some commercial highlights in the men's area, some more contemporary highlights. So I think we have a very strong men's selection for this time. What I can also reveal is that for the men's area, we have a very exciting collaboration with the Danish association Mister, which is an association of 100 stores here in Denmark. And they will have a lounge where we can invite some of our menswear brands to actually present to the store. Kind of like the Lion's Den, where they can come and present and actually get some feedback. So that will also be present at the men's area. Then we are, of course, super excited for the big players to welcome back Bestseller. That will expand this time. So they're bringing Selected with 200 square meters, men and women, at the center hall. And And I hear some rumors that they are also having some inspiration from the retail landscape. And then, of course, DK Company. They have just acquired Ivy Oak. Super cool.
Very excited.
Super cool
Incredibly
brand.
excited.
Yes.
I'm also very happy to see the development from then on. And I promise that we're going to follow up on this, hopefully soon with an own episode on Ivy and Oak, I hope.
I think for sure. So they will build a beautiful universe at the area at DK Company, also with Gestus. And our Gestus have some really exciting for us to see here for Jan without revealing too much. And then some of our agencies with the Vernon Sport, I know they have some cool highlights. Schuglin that are bringing a lot of different brands. I know they have 2 really special brand announcements. And then we're also super excited to welcome back Blitz Mama. That was one of the highlights for last season. So they will build up a beautiful universe with their bags in the foyer. And then we saw the last time with our extended collaboration with Copenhagen Fashion Week that our area where it's a more elevated showroom space was working quite nicely. So that we're expanding for a lot of the show brands. So this area in the Sea Hall for women's wear will be expanded to have a more showroom feel. And here we are so excited to see Christopher and Forza Collective, for the first time showing. But this area will also welcome back Common Sweden, Opera Sports, Hareskin. So a lot of the local Scandi heroes. So that's super, super exciting. And then tomorrow Denim will launch a new sister brand that I cannot reveal the name of yet. But that will actually also be launched during Jan.
Wow.
Yeah. So there are so many cool new highlights, but also of the returning the Swedish Twist and Tango community and super cool brand are also returning into women's wear. And then, of course, we'll bring a lot of our food partners. This time, Sticks and Sushi will do a huge restaurant takeover. So we're expanding the external food and beverage and local heroes. Also, Diamond Slice Pizza into the men's section. So I know they love that kind of food. So a lot of different things happen.
Wow. So this definitely sounds like a very major lineup, not only of fashion brands, but also of a lot of community chic brands, which you always bring onto the floor and keep on extending. I loved how you, in the beginning of our conversation, noted how the CIFF has somehow transformed and developed more towards a Coachella for fashion up here in the Nordics.
Yeah.
You're all about collaborations. You're all about being very enabling when it comes to hosting partners. I'm sure that all of you here at the CIFF get a lot of requests proactively from brands. How do you make sure to always pick partners who definitely fit onto the idea of the CIFF and onto your plans with every other issue?
I think for us, first of all, it is important to collaborate. I think to succeed in this market, we need to be open-minded, we need to collaborate. But of course, then we're looking at the different challenges and, it's a very dynamic market and things change all the time. So for us, it's important to find some that can help us, resolve some of the issues or the requests there is. So in the past, of course, there's been a lot of requests from our Nordic brands about like how to enter the US. That was why we did the collaboration with New York Fashion Week, because that was helping us, answering a request from the brands at that time to really gather the US designers, that were brand bodies to ours to build that community and bridge with a local partner that had that network. So for us, it's important to find some where they also see the synergies in us, collaborating both ways. And that can help our brands and that have a strong presence in the local country that we're working with. And for instance, also, with Pity, it makes sense that for the men's, they're so strong at menswear to collaborate, even though they are actually a competitor. And I get a lot of questions about that, but it really makes sense to collaborate and just take advantage of their strong platform and build a bridge instead of just competing. So I know for them it's super important to have us as the Scandi partner because it's one of the main attractions. So we use it as a platform but to help the brands, but also as a marketing platform to talk about the upcoming CIFF. So we don't have like a script and say, okay, these are the boxes that needs to be ticked off. It's very much about saying, okay, is it a strong partner that are professional, that have the same, vision as us? And does it suit into the situation we are at right now?
You have already orchestrated a lot of very solid and really strong alliances with trade show partners, with other platforms and organizations internationally, as like the one in New York, as our friends and partners from PT in Florence. Can you maybe open up a tiny bit of the door onto what's going to be happening brand partnership wise in the future, or maybe talk about a couple of the other more major collaborations which you with the CIFF are planning?
I can reveal that we are looking into narrowing our focus and with the mindset of go big or go home. For us, it's important to be where the traffic is, and to have partners that complement, our strengths. So I think for the future, we will look into markets that complement Copenhagen and to do it better and bigger there instead of being 4 or 5 different places, and then with a strong local partner.
Wow, very excited. You mentioned traffic. Traffic itself is a very beneficial trigger when it comes to the decision-making process of every brand to come here to the CIFF. And over the last couple of seasons, you have always been over-delivering on the expectations of traffic. How do you think and believe you're going to over-deliver also now in the winter issue of the CIFF?
I think, due to the market circumstances, we don't have a target of just, growing the visitor numbers. It's more about having the right quality, because we don't get more retailers. So we need the right retailers with a budget and that match, our community. So we have a huge focus on the German market. So we aim at, of course, having a strong presence from Germany. But also, as I just mentioned earlier, we will go to Belgium and some of the countries where we see some potential. So, I mean, for us, success criteria is to bring in more from Belgium, from Germany, from Poland, which is a booming market right now, from the Middle East. And then, of course, going through our VIP list to see, of course, who is requested from our brand side. So really looking at the quality. So the upcoming season is, for the winter edition, it is our strongest. But of course, it's overlapping with Paris. So that can be a bit challenging. So our aim is to have the same level of traffic as the last time, which was quite high. So that would be amazing for us just to have an index 100 on that. And then we're looking into having, instead of having a high peak on day one, to have it more spread out, which I think is also much better for the brand side.
Over the last couple of seasons, you did not only manage to build, as we mentioned, a Coachella over here in the Nordics when it comes to fashion and lifestyle and all fashion-related industries, but also, I believe, a very melting pot, replicating the idea of a United Nations in a way, because more and more and more nations you get, and more countries you come and host and give them your platform and share it with them to present their outstanding talents.
Yeah.
What I also loved is a tiny bit of a rumor addressing that the talent platform of the Copenhagen Fashion Week is going to be having a very prominent appearance this time at the CIFF. What's with the rumors?
No, it is true. And it's a strategic partnership with them because we do support the new talents. And we actually have, for the talents, we also have them here at our village. which is supported by us, so we can help them in their daily run. So they will have a huge presence. We will also host the official Copenhagen Fashion Week press breakfast on the floor.
Incredible.
So, I mean, again, for us to try and make it as easy as possible for all of the buyers and press to have it all under one roof, because they don't have a lot of time during those days. So it needs to be as easy as possible.
Do you already know how many brands, how many designers are going to be participating and are going to be having their showcase here onto these floors?
We haven't finalized it yet on how many who will actually also have their show here. We have a bit of capacity, but we have a lot of requests. So, of course, one of them that is confirmed is Forza Collective that will do his show here in the building, to be announced where at a later stage. But I know that the setting will be quite amazing.
Oh, wow. There's a huge social side when it comes to the CIFF. Each and every gathering of you turns into a combination of obviously a very strong business-driven scope of meeting people, but also into a family gathering. How are you planning to maintain on this, and what are the highlights you're going to be planning and executing into the Winter 26 edition?
So, of course, we will bring back our huge CIFF dinner and party, and it will be at Soho House again. That is a preferred partner of ours. Also, all of our VIP guests, they get the Soho House membership during the days. So we do a lot of activities with them. But we hosted it at Soho House the last time for the first time, and it turned out great. It was massive, so we will do it all over again on day 2. And then we're doing actually much more eventing and social hours for the upcoming CIFF with a lot of different brand partners. And then for the first time, we're also going into a partnership with some very talented tech partners. So we're doing a new forum called Tech Create, where we will also help educate, not during the 3 days, but before and after. But incorporated in our theme, we will do a tech square, where our tech partners, such as Fashion Clouds, to mention one of them, will be there and can mingle. But then we activate it with a social hour, so you can really come and have a casual talk and get some tech knowledge to see how they can help you grow their business and make it much easier.
Wow. Adding tech onto the idea of CIFF and basically serving and sharing the platform as another incremental benefit for a lot of people who work in fashion tech sounds something very new. Why do you believe it's so important to definitely share and add the tech layer onto the fashion floor?
I think for us, it's because when we have all of the dialogue with the brands, we see in times that are as challenged as they are now, they are lacking resources. They cannot go out and hire a lot of people. They need to look at their cost. They need to look at efficiency, but still there are, a lot of demands out there from the industry. So we want to be the partner where we can come and provide different solutions, know-how to serve it on a platter for them and say, okay, these are concrete examples with brand cases that can help you elevate to optimize cost, to optimize, on sustainability or whatnot. So it's a way for us to take, partners that are much more knowledgeable than us. I'm no tech expert at all, but to bring the right partners. So we help curate. But again, when we do these collaborations with the tech partners, we try to be the middleman and do the examples and tell the story in a way, that's, our industry can understand much better and in a much more digestible way, because they don't have a lot of time. Everybody's super stressed. So it needs to be very concrete and with a visual, brand storytelling where they can understand, okay, this was the case with this brand. It sums up to my challenges. This is the solution. Let's go ahead.
Curating brands, setting up communities, bringing also other very beneficial groups as the tech industry, multiple other locals and internationals onto the floor of the CIFF. Sounds like a very major and busy job. How big is your team at the moment, and how has it grown over the last couple of months?
So we are around 20 people at the CIFF office. But of course, I mean, when we get closer to building up the CIFF and 40,000 square meters, we have around between like 80 and 100 people that come and help. So it's not just the 20 of us. I think, it's not because we have grown tremendously throughout the years. Actually, in the past, before I came, also the CIFF organization was much larger. We tried to just be more efficient. So the team is more, brand focused. For me, it's important that the majority of the team is there to actually be the face of CIFF, to talk with our brands, to talk with our partners, to talk with our buyers. So we are, that we have service as our first priority, instead of having, 19 back office and then one person that can talk with our brands.
Fair enough. You have outlined the whole excitement and the multiple layers of the CIFF, which are going to be unfolding also onto the next show in January. What is 2 or 3 sentences in which you can put together what people can expect at the CIFF, and why is it very different than the previous issues?
I think then I want to highlight the digital element. It is the first time where we will go so digitally. And the second is much more immersive experience.
A digital layer,
Yeah.
a tech layer, a
Yes.
lot of immersive experiences,
Yes.
a lot of gathering, enabling communities, hosting Corso Como,
Yeah.
bringing the Copenhagen Fashion Week New Talent Showcase. Is there more to happen during these very dense days here in Copenhagen?
Probably. I mean, I think we have 10 new ideas every week, so it's just about, we need to prioritize. But I think we need to find, new elements to bring to the floor and to the crowd. And we need to surprise, and there needs to be some newness, because that's what the industry, they expect from us.
What is always the biggest surprise and the most rewarding impression which you have when you walk through the CIFF and basically see the entire community getting together, and all of this orchestrated by you and your team? How do you feel when you always see all of this orchestration happening together into a very beautiful and loud and very busy symphony?
Relief. I think relief. I think a couple, when we are getting closer and we are a couple of days, before the event and we haven't started to build it up, I think a lot of us, we go around and we just talk about, okay, is it even possible? Will we get there in time? Because it's so much that needs to be built up. And then, 5 minutes before we open up, the last things is sorted, and then we open the doors and you're just relieved. We manage to do it every time, but every time also 5 minutes before, I'm running around, checking everything, being so nervous, but then, everything,
it works out.
It all works out.
Absolutely. Very cool. Obviously, we're living in very challenging times, globally seen, not only based on the fashion industry and all of our related businesses we work into, but also globally. I believe there's a lot of more major and bigger themes. Do you feel that this also reflects quite a lot into the buying behavior of end consumers, but also in a way of the bravery of buyers to risk and invest into new brands?
Absolutely. And we see that, that the retailers, they are much more nervous into taking, the risk. And that's actually one of the main reasons why we started up CIFF Media, is to help the brands tell their story, but not only the creative part, to help them sell in the commercial part. So the retailers understand what is the brand coming with, what kind of commercial suitcase and go-to-market plans, because you need so much more than just a strong collection to hit the ground running. You need to be able to activate your community. You need to be able to get the collection and the brand story out to the end consumer, so they also are willing to buy into your collection. And we just see that, a lot of the brands, they are so excellent at and creative to bring in the new collections and the universe, but there's missing this link. All of the retailers, they get thousands and thousands of lookbooks, but they might not getting what is the story behind. What is their market dominance in other countries? Do we what is the backgrounds if it's a brand they don't know? So we try to help them tell that story, so we can send that out to the retailers before CIFF, so they have that background going into the inspiration round.
Yeah. With CIFF Media, you created a platform featuring all the important assets of a brand, not only on a creative and an aspirational side, but also onto when it comes to transaction. How do you see brands and retailers responding to all these preset, all these pre-curated selections you spread within your media network when it comes to new exciting brands buyers should be looking into?
I mean, already now we get a lot of positive feedback. Of course, we are at the very beginning, so we need to be even better. But I see it being very beneficial for us to have that, when we go around on a global buying and press tour, to present something more than just a brand announcement. So we come with a bit more preparations for them. And we try to incorporate it also in the itinerary, etc. So I think the feedback is quite positive, and now we just need to, expand and make some test and learns and make it even better.
We know that the industry is running on a very fast pace, but all of you here at the CIFF are running at an even faster one. So knowing that you are now entirely planning the show in January, I already heard that you're basically planning and thinking onto the further ones. So you obviously work one chapter ahead, the ones all of us have read here in Copenhagen. And before it unfolds, you already have a bigger plan for the next issue. Is there some excitement which you can share with us about the summer edition already?
I can say one word, and that is festival. We are going to do a big event with one of our brand partners.
No way.
So that I can reveal. And not only for CIFF in August, but we are also looking into doing a version 2 of our extended collaboration with Corso Como. So for June, we'll do a massive pop-up event with Corso Como in Milan. And then, of course, with PT, which will also be bigger and with another partner.
Incredible. That already sounds really, really, really promising. And I'm super happy and excited to see all of this unfolding in front of me in January. So thank you so much for bringing some newness and excitement into what we should be expecting to happen in January. And thank you so much for being our guest in your own office.
Thank you, Julian.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.